Hello, welcome to New Thought Tuesday with Rich Smith. And actually, Dean's not here today. So I'm going to be running the show solo here. And so what I thought I'd do is take advantage of this opportunity to talk directly to our followers about some of the principles that I teach. As you know, I use the metaphor that your life is a movie. It's created by an infinite filmmaker, and there's no limit to what it can create in your movie called life. And I have a book, 52 Laws and Principles of the Infinite Filmmaker. These are 52 spiritual principles that I've used in my own life to be able to create many miracles in my life, actually on a daily basis. And so we're going to talk about some of the principles and about how they affect you as a creative in the entertainment business who's on a spiritual path and would like to make a deeper connection with what I call the infinite filmmaker, God, divine presence, whatever you want to call it. A spiritual person, a religious person would call it God. Spiritual person might call it Buddha mind, or Christ consciousness. Lao Tzu, who created the Taoism, calls it the Tao. Esther Hicks calls it source energy. Even George Lucas calls it the force be with you. Whatever you want to call it, it's totally up to you. I think we're all talking about the same thing. And so basically what we're talking about here is it's a force, it's a power, it's an intelligence in the universe that is in control of everything, that creates everything in and of out of itself. Okay, I got a little following thing here with my camera, so I'm just going to let it be. Sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. I think if I go like this, it'll stop. Oh, there we go. I think if I go like this. Yeah, no, not working. Anyways, new camera I got and very excited about using it. However, it messes me up, but I'm going to go with it because that's what it's all about. It's all about connecting with divine presence and allowing it to create in and as and through you in perfection. And so for me, this is perfection, even though the camera's not working the way I want it to. It's something that I can learn from. Maybe I haven't spent enough time with the camera to be able to adjust it properly. I just received it. But it's all about going with the flow and allowing divine presence to create in and as and through each and every one of us in perfection, whatever that may look like, even when things aren't going exactly the way we would want them to. We just have to understand that everything is unfolding for our highest good. And that's what we're going to talk about today on New Thought Tuesdays. And so I picked a couple of topics. One of them is based on my first principle, which is one power, one presence, the infinite filmmaker creating the movie of your life. It's perfect, whole, and complete. Everything's unfolding in perfect order. I call this thing a universal intelligence. I call it the infinite filmmaker, and recognizing that it's an intelligence, it's a divine force, and it permeates everything in creation. It's the source of all life. It's the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding and intelligence behind everything. It's the intelligence behind an acorn growing into an oak tree. It's the intelligence with the sun shining on us every day, giving us energy, feeding the plants with energy, with light. There's an intelligence there. Everything is unfolding through this divine presence that's everywhere present. So one of the things we want to talk about is omnipotence, that it's all powerful. That this infinite filmmaker is all powerful, creating the movie of your life. It's not withholding anything from you. The only thing that's withholding you from your highest good is you. It's your own thinking, because the thoughts that we have, we put out into the universe. Infinite intelligence picks up on those thoughts, the infinite filmmaker, and creates the movie of our life. So in essence, we're co-creating the movie of our life. We're co-writing the screenplay for the movie of our life. Every time we think a thought, every time we act upon something, every time we have an emotion or feeling about something, we're creating the script for the future of our movie that's being created on a daily basis, instant by instant. We're creating our movie. Every thought we have, every action we take is creating the movie of our life. So we have to be aware of that. And for me, knowing that I'm working with this unlimited power and presence, it's not withholding anything from me. I know that all of my good is knocking on my door, that everything is unfolding in perfect order. So I trust, I have faith in this power and this presence to give me whatever I want, knowing that everything that's happening in my life up to this point is just an illusion. It's not actually real. It's just something being created by my thoughts, and I can change my thoughts and I can change my life. As Dean and I say in New Thought Tuesday, change your thinking, change your life, change the world. And actually, Dean is here with us now. Hey, Dean. Okay, anyways, Dean's here. And oh, there he is. Hey,
Grazie.
hey. Where are we? Rome?
We are in Roma.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yes.
Eat,
So
drink, and be merry.
we just gotten here. We have a bottle of wine, and you can tell how much we love New Thought Tuesdays because I haven't had that bottle of wine yet. I got right on for New Thought Tuesdays.
What time is it there?
It is 7 o'clock.
In the morning?
Evening.
Evening. Oh, it's still light out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations. Thank you for joining us. We have Ron listening in and a bunch of our peeps that are listening in for New Thought Tuesday. And I, was just explaining your own room. You might not be here, and thank God you are. Save the day. Today, as I said, I'm just going to talk about some of the spiritual principles from my teachings, The Infinite Filmmaker, and also from now that you're here, we can bring in living in concert with life. And you want to just explain a little bit about what living in concert with life is about, because I already explained what the Infinite Filmmaker is about.
Absolutely. Well, living in concert with life, doesn't it just sounds like something that is fun to do. Living in concert with life. Life has lots of ups and downs, and we kind of ride with that, and we have intentions that move that along. And then that whole in concert thing brings out a lot of my musical background, which is I just drill in musical metaphors into living in concert with life. It's essentially living the science of mind with some also tips and tricks in there. So that's what living in concert with life is.
That's great. Awesome. And we use the same principles when we talk on New Thought Tuesdays, because
Absolutely.
we base a lot of our teachings on what we've learned from the science of mind and also other New Thought teachers. And so we use that. I happen to package it up in my book as 52 Spiritual Laws and Principles, just to, for me, it was a way of explaining these real deep, profound metaphysical principles so that a lay person can understand them and get a grasp on what we're talking about here, because sometimes we go really deep in New Thought Tuesdays. And so I was talking, Dean, about principle 1, the power and presence, infinite intelligence, everywhere present, in and as and through everything, being the source of all possibilities and solutions. And when we can align ourselves with this intelligence and receive the divine inspiration, then we allow our life to open up. We allow the floodgates of beauty and passion and joy and creativity flow into our life just by being aware of this power and presence. And so, I was explaining it to me as the infinite filmmaker, creating the movie of your life, and we're co-creating the movie of our life every day. Every time we think a thought and act upon something, even have an emotion towards something, we're creating the reality. So, Dean, how did you create the reality to get to Rome? I want to do that. I want to have that mindset.
Well, and I do like that you're bringing that question up of how did I create the reality of getting here to Rome? And this is kind of a pilgrimage of love, but there have been a number of consistent ideas that have brought us here, and it's that consistent thinking, that consistent intending, that consistent allowing and having the tools, which for me, New Thought Tuesdays is a tool. It has been a bit of a challenge to get here tonight. We have gone over hill and dale and through cobblestone paths and rainstorms and all of that to get here. And some of it has been very frustrating. And it's like, Dean, and then we're looking for a cab, and all of a sudden we're not looking for a cab, and a cab just pulls up.
Yeah.
Let some people off.
Yeah.
We get out of the rain. We finally get to the hotel. And I get to take a deep breath and go, okay. There is no separation. Because the proclivity when things get tough is to have a sense that there's some separation. And it's kind of like rappelling off of a spiritual wall. I don't know if you've ever done that. You're climbing up and you push away and you're kind of away from the wall. So, there's separation. It's like, nope. The truth of the spiritual consciousness is ever present. I've always got my feet solidly on that wall. I'm always going to bring the gravitational pull of spiritual practice into my experience, even when I'm having a sense of separation. And that's, to me, that's living in concert with life. That's really experiencing the human experience and recognizing that there is an infinite experience that is taking place while we're experiencing this human experience. So with the Infinite Filmmaker, your brand, it really brings you to that idea of, this whole life of yours is your own film. And the Infinite Filmmaker, otherwise known as God or Spirit or whatever that highest calling, whatever you call it, it's ever present. And our metaphors make it easier to play the game.
Yeah.
Make it easier to play.
Yeah, exactly. You were talking about the separation. And when you mentioned that, like with the wall, you push back from the wall, but you never really disconnected to it. Same thing with divine presence, infinite intelligence. We may feel like we're separate from it when you're trying to get back to your hotel and, there's no cabs available and all of that, but you're not separate from it. You're connected to it. And the minute you let go of any idea that we're not going to get a cab, it's pouring rain, why is this happening to me, a victim consciousness, then all of a sudden you let go of all of that and you open up to the reality that you are connected to infinite intelligence. It knows your needs even before you ask for it. And it supplies you with that, whatever it is, that cab that you need at that instant. I'm sure that the minute you let go of it, it showed up. That's just the way this stuff works.
I let go of it. I turned, Frank was off trying to get some directions. And it was like, okay, this is here. This is the answer. This is what we're looking for. This is the next human step. And I just called out, Frank, and we got into the car. And so that is its own little traveling metaphor of staying very close to that idea, that question, how is this happening for me? Yeah. That whole idea of the infinite filmmaker always conspiring for your good, the whole idea of the infinite consciousness conspiring for your good. I love that idea that it's like, no matter what, I'm on your side. I'm coming up with stuff that you can't even think about.
Yeah. In the mind, we have the
St. Peter's over there, and the bells are chiming. The
Which
bells
one's St. Peter's? What's St. Peter's? Let me see.
Okay, let's see. St. Peter's is right.
Is it that dome?
There. That's at the Vatican. So we're right by the Vatican.
Wow. Awesome. We'll have to do a pop-up on New Thought Tuesday when we're at the Vatican,
From the steps of the Vatican.
Yeah. Yeah. What you were saying too about infinite intelligence always having your back, that it's and that was one of the topics I wanted to bring up today. It's omniscient. It knows all. It knows everything. It knows your needs even before you ask for them. And I think the thing that keeps us from our highest good is our belief that we're separate from our God and our good, because our God and our good are one and the same thing. When we believe we're separate from it, as the master said from Jerusalem, it's measured according to your belief. If you believe you're stuck out in the rain without a cab and you're going to be stuck there and your mind goes to that place, then that's what the universe is going to give you. But if you switch it up, the universe will, when you connect with the idea of the perfection of your life, there's a perfect screenplay for your movie called life. And when you can connect, when you can let go of the illusion of lack and limitation, things aren't going the way that they should, that I want them to, and open up to the idea that your highest good is always evolving for you, and you allow it to come into your life. Miracles happen. And sometimes immediately, sometimes it may take a few days for that cab to come. But
I'm all for instantaneous feelings, people. I'm all for
instantaneous.
instantaneous feelings.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So one of the other things I want to talk about, the power of the imagination. You know, the imagination is a gift that allows us to create desired reality. And by utilizing our imagination and the facilities, we can envision and construct a vivid mental picture of our goals and aspirations. So as we consciously hold these images in our mind, we activate the creative forces within us, causing the thing that we're looking for to become formed, to become an experience for us. And so imagination, and you want to address that, Dean. How did you must have imagined yourself going to Rome and seeing yourself there in your mind. And
Yes. Yes.
but you could have also in your mind thought, oh, we can't go to Rome. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the money. I don't. And then you wouldn't go.
Well, the thing is that the rejuvenation, the recovery, the respite, that's what has been in my experience, in my conscious and consistent thinking. The place really didn't make much difference to me. We settled on Rome, and that's like, okay, great. Let's
to get away.
Rome. And you just got to get away. But the thing is, it's so important. It's so important to realize we're doing this stuff anyway. It's not like, okay, now we're going to consciously engage the law. We're always engaging the law. The law is outpicturing and unfolding in our lives right now. It's how you consistently bring your participation in that mindful and conscious participation with the law.
Yeah.
You're working the law anyway. It's a matter of how mindfully you want to work the law. And we can do that. We can do that in what some people call kingdom one, which is that victim consciousness. How is this happening to me? Oh my God, this is horrible. I have such blame. I'm shame, regret. Great, knock yourself out. Stay in those thought processes, and you will continue to be in that kingdom one, that victim consciousness. Or you can move to kingdom two and manifest, and just consciously get the stuff
you froze
that you want with a trust mind. Oops, sorry. Back or no? Let me do this.
You're back.
Okay, great.
I lost you.
Mindfully being participating with those aspects of the human experience that you want to experience. That's kingdom two. Just get stuff, from parking spaces to mansions. Get the stuff, then you can move also on to that place where you're transcending this whole material thing and experiencing that deeper sense of joy, that deeper sense of divine right action, the deeper sense of the experience of God working in and as you, in Kingdom 4 working through you, which is where the master teacher, Jesus of Jerusalem, was at. Those aspects of God is working in, through, and as you. And while you're working the law, while you're living the life of the infinite filmmaker and your infinite script that is being unfolding for you, that you get to participate in, you can bounce between these various places. You can go from victim to material to transcending the material into the whole down, but really, where are you spending most of your time? Are you spending most of your time in that victim consciousness, in that trust consciousness, in that magnificent manifestation consciousness? That's and you're doing that now. So it's a matter of take a look around you, and you are manifesting the conscious thoughts that you are consistently thinking. That's all I
Yeah.
got on that one.
Yeah. What you're saying, the victimhood, everything is cause and effect. And that's another subject that I wanted to bring up during this, the cause and effect. The principles of cause and effect reminds us that our thoughts and beliefs and the actions that we take have consequences. We are the co-creators of our reality. As we said, we're co-creating the movie of our life. And what we send out into the world returns to us. It's a reciprocal universe. And so we have to take responsibility for our choices and align them with spiritual principles. We can manifest positive outcomes in our life when we do that. So as Dean was saying, do you want to sit in victimhood, or do you want to create something new and different by taking on the mind that Christ had, like he says, taking on that Christ consciousness, that mind that I am one with infinite power and presence. It's creating in and as and through me, perfect, whole, and complete, not withholding anything. My life is perfect, whole, and complete, unfolding in perfect order. When you open up to that, all of a sudden, a whole new world opens up to you. You're writing the new screenplay for your life. And here's the thing, my filmmakers, peeps will understand this, is a movie is just a strip of film, still images that move through the projector, 24 frames per second, that look like motion. And so the film strip that before it gets to the projector, okay, when it gets to the projector, it projects the image, it projects the life that you're living. And so do you want to take the old movie that you wrote from the old script and continue to run that through the projector? Or do you want to create something new? And then all of a sudden, once it passes through the projector, 24 frames per second, you create a new life. It's like a miracle. Everything opens up to you. Your life becomes anew. You become new. Your relationships become new. Your career becomes new. Everything becomes new in alignment with what the infinite wants you to have, a movie that's perfect, whole, and complete, lacking nothing. And it is. And I totally believe in miracles. I totally believe that there are no limitations, that if we believed, as the master did, that we can walk on water, if we truly believed it, we could do it. And you know what? It's like the 1 mile, 10-second mile race or whatever it was. What's the name of the guy that ran that race? And once he did it, everybody else could beat that record. And so I believe that we're heading towards a consciousness where we're beginning to realize and understand the power of our mind, like Dean was saying, the power of our thoughts to be able to create. So change your thinking, as we say in New Thought Tuesday. Change your thinking, change your life.
Change your thinking, change your life, change your world, change the world.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's so simple.
Mr. Smith, we are up on the end of our time for today. Thank you for bringing forward more about the Infinite Filmmaker, because it's a really fun and meaningful brand. And the 52 Laws and Principles of the Infinite Filmmaker is a fantastic book. I'm really grateful that you have got that available. Please go to Rich's website and get a copy of that. Enjoy that. It's very important.
You get a free copy at theinfinitefilmmaker.com, theinfinitefilmmaker.com.
Infinitefilmmaker.com. And so I'm grateful that we could do this from Roma today. Roma, and very excited about it. Anything? And if you want to be part of this, if you're watching on social media, make sure you go to newthoughttuesdays.com and sign up for Yes, I Want to Be Reminded. And we will send you a gentle reminder and give you the link to the Zoom room where you can join us for conversation, which is where we're going to go right now, to the inner circle to talk a little bit more about the Infinite Filmmaker, that universal, infinite God presence.
Thank you.
How it works for you.
Thanks, Dean. Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that I was able to share this information because I always talk in metaphysical terms. And so, about the infinite filmmaker creating the movie of your life, and it can be confusing. So I'm glad I got to explain a little bit about my metaphor and how it works, and also about living in constant life and how we combine the two to create New Thought Tuesdays.
Well, actually, I kind of disagree with you, Rich. I find it not at all confusing. That's one of the things I love about the Infinite Filmmaker is it's like, have you seen a movie? Have you any idea about what a movie is? And if you do, then it really locks up all the principles on a movie set. And it's fun. And it's like, okay, I get it. Yes, I can go with that. And then it's a profound and a fun way of bringing the ideas of spiritual practice and infinite power into your life.
Thanks.
So I think it's great.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going to see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And thanks for joining.